Okay, so we will start with the topic relations and functions, right? Yesterday also we discussed the basics of the relations. So what is a relation? A relation R from a non-empty set A to set B is a subset of Cartesian product A to B. The very first relation will be defined from between two sets. It could be from set A to A or from set A to B, right? So whatever the cross product will be, relation will be the set. Relation will be subset of that cross product. Then we discussed what is domain, what is range, what is codomain, right? Domain is the set of all first elements of relation. Range is the set of all second elements of relations. And codomain is the set of all elements which are present in set B, that means the second set. And also range is a subset of codomain. These are the basics you have done in +1 also, right? Next, we will move to types of relations, which is the topic of your +2 standard now. What type of relations you are having? So you will be having different types of relations, right? The main we are discussing empty relation, universal relation, and identity relations. Three relations we will discuss right now, right? Then we will discuss more relations. We are saying that relation is subset or equal to Cartesian product of two sets. This B could be the set A itself also, right? Relation could be subset or equal to A cross A. Relation could be subset or equal to A cross B. Now, when we are taking a set A, right? Set A is equals to 1, 2. What are the subsets of A? Subsets of A will be 5, which is a subset of A, and it could be 1, which is a subset of A, and it could be 2, which is a subset of A, and it could be the set 1 comma 2, which is A itself, which is a subset or equal to A, right? So for A, the set of two elements, we are having these subsets. Now phi is called empty subset, and this 1 comma 2 is a universal subset, right? Same way we are having in relations. If we are having a relation in which no element is present, we are having R is equals to phi, then phi will be subset of A cross A, because phi is a subset of all sets. So if our relation R is such that R is equals to phi, then phi will be a subset of A cross A, and it is called empty relation. A relation R in a set is called empty relation if no element of A is related to any element of A, that is R is equals to phi. We will discuss with example also later on. A relation R in a set is called universal relation if each element of A is related to every element of A, that is R is equals to A cross A. If we are taking relation R is such that every element of A cross A is present in the relation R, we will say that our relation is universal relation. Then the third is identity relation. A relation R in a set A is said to be identity relation if every element of A is related to itself only. Means if we have a set A which is equals to 1, 2, 3, then I identity relation when 1 is related to 1, 2 is related to 2, 3 is related to 3. When we will be having this type of relation, when every element is related to itself only, then this type of relation will be identity relation. Now we will be taking examples. Let A be the set of all students of boys school, right? A is a set which is containing X such that X is a student of boys school, right? This is set A. Show that the relation R in A is given by. Now relation R in A means relation R in A implies R is a subset or equal to A cross A. When we are saying relation in A means we are taking all subsets of A cross A. When we are taking relation from A to B, then we are taking A cross B, right? Now we are given, show that the relation R in A means relation R will be subset of A cross A. So that the relation R is A in is given by R is equals to A comma B. A is a sister of B. Now in relation R, whatever elements we will be having, all the elements will be boys only, right? Because A is having all the students from boys school, but we are saying that R is equal to A comma B. The first element will be from first A, the second element will be from second A. A belongs to this A, B belongs to this A, right? R is equal to A comma B such that A is sister of B is empty relation. This relation will be empty because A cross A will be having whatever the elements, whatever the students, all will be boys only because A is the set which is the student of boy school. So we will be writing that since the school is a boys school, no student of school can be sister of any student of the school. Hence R is equals to 5, which is showing that R is an empty relation, right? We are defining a relation R that A is the sister of B, but in the set we have all boys. So sister relation does not exist. So this way R is equals to 5. R will be empty set. Now second, R dash is a set A comma B. The difference between heights of A, B is less than 3 meters is a universal relation. Difference between A and B means difference between height of any two students. You are taking any two students of the school. 3 meter is a very large distance, right? So definitely if we will be taking difference of heights of the students, that will be always less than 3 meters. So we will be taking all these students, right, under consideration in this set. So we will be writing it is obvious that the difference between height of any two students of the school has to be less than 3 meters. This shows that R dash will be equal to A cross A. Every element of A cross A will belongs to R dash because you take any two students difference of their heights, that will be less than 3 meters. So R dash is equal to A cross A is a universal relation, right? And also if A comma B belongs to R, we say that A is related to B, and the other way of writing is A R B. And if A is not related to B, we write A is not related to B. These are two mathematical representation. If element A is related to B, we write ARB, and if it is not related, we write ARB and put a vertical line. A or sometimes it is ARB, a straight line, right? A is not related to B. A is related to B. This is all about empty relation, universal relation, right? Next, we will be moving to take one more example from this type only. Consider a relation R in the set A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 given by R is equals to R is a relation defined by ordered pair A comma B such that A minus B is equals to 10 right? Then if we take a minus b is equals to 10, take the difference of any two elements. 1 minus 1, 0. 1 minus 2, minus 1. 2 minus 1, 1. Right? Take the difference of any two elements. You will see that there are no two elements such that the difference is 10. The largest element is 4. The smallest is 1. 4 minus 1 is equals to 3. At max we will be getting the difference 3, but there are no two elements a and b in the set a such that a minus b will be equal to 10. So this is a empty set as no pair a comma b satisfy the condition a minus b is equals to 10. Again we are given a relation r dash which is a comma b such that mod value a minus b is greater than equal to 0. Now take whatever value you will be taking, it will be true for all the ordered pairs, right? You take difference 1 or you take ordered pair 1 comma 1. 1 minus 1 is equals to 0. So mod of 1 minus 1 is equals to 0, true, because we have both signs greater than and equal to. You take value 1 minus 2. Mod of 1 minus 2 is equals to 1, which is greater than 0. You take 1 minus 3. Mod, it is 2, which is greater than 0. 1 minus 4. 4 minus 1. 4 minus 3. Any pair, ordered pair you will take from these value, every ordered pair will satisfy this relation mod of a minus b is greater than 0. So R dash will be the whole set A cross A, as all pairs A comma B in A cross A satisfy the relation mod value A minus B greater than or equal to 0. This type, in this way you can have, you can be having the questions, what is empty set, give an example, what is universal relation, sorry, give an example, or you can be given question that find the relation, right? Then next very important topic and three more types will be reflexive relation, symmetric relation, and transitive relation. So before that we will be having equivalence relation. Equivalence. A relation R in a set A is said to be an equivalence relation if R is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, right? Till now we have explained what is empty set, what is universal set, depending upon checking the condition. Now we will be having equivalence relation, but equivalence relation depend upon reflexive, symmetric, and transitive relation. A relation R in a set is said to be equivalence relation in R if it is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. Now we will discuss what is reflexive, what is symmetric, and what is transitive, right? So we will be taking a relation R in a set A. In a set A means we will be taking A cross A, right? It is reflexive if A comma A belongs to R for every A belongs to capital A. Whatever the elements are in set A, there should be existing identity relation somewhere, right? For every A, there should be similar element A. There should be ordered pair A comma A belongs to R. We will be doing it with the help of example also, right? This will be reflexive. When we have A comma A belongs to R, that relation will be reflexive. Then what is symmetric? If we are having an ordered pair A comma B belongs to R, then we should have an ordered pair B comma A belongs to R in the set relation. If for every A comma B belongs to R, we are having B comma A belongs to R, we will be saying that the relation is symmetric. What is transitive? If we are having A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, if both the conditions happens in the relation A comma B is belongs to R exist, B comma C belongs to R, then this implies that A comma C should belong to R. If this condition holds, then we will say that the set relation is transitive. Now we will understand it with the help of example. Show that the relation R in the set 1, 2, 3 given by relation is given to you. Set is having element 1, 2, 3, and you are given the relation. Relation is ordered pair 1, comma 1, ordered pair 2, comma 2, ordered pair 3, comma 3, 1, comma 2, 2, comma 3. We have to show that this relation is reflexive but neither symmetric nor transitive, right? So first we will check reflexive, right? Now in the reflexive we are saying A comma A belongs to R. A, what is A in the set? We are having A is 1, 2, 3. That means if A is 1, 1 comma 1 should belong to R. 1 comma 1 is there. 2 is there. 2 comma 2 should belongs to R. 2 comma 2 is there. 3 is there. 3 comma 3 should be there. So uh, for all A belongs to capital A comma A belongs to R. Yes, this is true that 1 comma 1 is there, 2 comma 2 is there, 3 comma 3 is there. Since all the ordered pairs are there, so R is reflexive since 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3 lie in R. इसके अलावा if extra ordered pairs are also there, then we never mind, but our condition is 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3 should be there for reflexivity, right? So this relation is reflexive because A comma A belongs to R for every A belongs to capital A. Now we will check whether the relation is symmetric or not. R is not symmetric. Why? Because we are having 1 comma 1, we will reverse 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, reverse 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, reverse 3 comma 3. But 1 comma 2 is there, right? A comma B belongs to R, implies B comma A, means it's a reverse. Reverse means A is replaced by B and B is replaced by A. 1 comma 2 reverse is 2 comma 1. R is not symmetric as 1 comma 2 belongs to R, but 2 comma 1 does not belong to R. 2 comma 1 is not anywhere in the relation. So 2 comma 1 does not belong to R. Therefore, the relation is not symmetric. If a single ordered pair is present such that its in reverse is not present, so we will say that the set is relation is not symmetric. R is not symmetric because 1 comma 2 belongs to R, but 2 comma 1 does not belong to R. So we will say that relation is not symmetric. By the definition, A comma B belongs to R implies B comma A should belongs to R, right? So next we will take transitive. For transitive, R is not transitive as 1 comma 2 belongs to R and 2 comma 3 belongs to R, but 1 comma 3 does not belong to R, right? 1 comma 2 belongs to R means we are saying A comma B, right? And B comma C. Then we cut these element and we check A comma C should belong to R, right? Now A comma B belongs to R, B comma C belongs to R. Then we are taking first and last element of the two set A comma C, that should belong to R. But now in this set 1 comma 2, 1 comma 2 is there, belongs to R. 2 comma 3 is there, belongs to R. And from these two sets we will check another set 1 comma 3. 1 comma 3 is there in the relation anywhere? No. 1 comma 3 does not belong to R. Since 1 comma 3 does not belong to the relation, therefore R is not transitive. This way we will be checking whether the relation is reflexive, symmetric or transitive. On the basis of your year standard, plus 2 standard, this equivalence relation and reflexive, symmetric, transitive based questions are important, right? So we will be doing more examples. Till now, if any student have any doubt in reflexive, symmetric and transitive, you can ask, because this topic is very, very important. Otherwise, we will move to next example. Okay. Let T be the set of all triangles in a plane with the relation in T given by, okay, let T be the set of all triangles in a plane with the relation R in T given by R is equals to T1, T2 such that T1 is congruent to T2. Show that R is an equivalence relation. So the relation is ordered pair T1, T2 such that T1 will be congruent to T2. Whatever two elements will be there in the ordered pair, first element will be congruent to second element, right? Now, first we will check reflexive, whether the relation is reflexive. Reflexive means the ordered pair T1 should uh, belong, T1 comma T1 should belong to R. Reflexive will be T1 comma T1 belongs to R and T2 comma T2 belongs to R. So can we say that T1 comma T1 belongs to R is true? Can we say that? What is the relation? T1 is congruent to T2. T1 is congruent to T1. Can we say that a triangle is congruent to itself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can say that every triangle is congruent to itself, right? So T1 is congruent to T1, T2. If I'm taking T1, T1, I can say that T1 is congruent to T1, and for the second element T2, I can say that T2 is congruent to T2. Therefore, relation is reflexive since every triangle is congruent to itself, right? So reflexive done. Now we will be moving to symmetric. Symmetric means if T1 is congruent to T2, T1, T2 belongs to R means T1 is congruent to T2. If T1 is congruent to T2, we can say that T2 is congruent to T1, right? Both mean same thing. T1 is congruent to T2, T2 is congruent to T1. If T2 is congruent to T1, we can write that T2 comma T1 belongs to R. So thus T1 comma T2 belongs to R implies T2 comma T1 belongs to R. If R T1 T2 belongs to R, their inverse T2 T1 also belongs to R. Therefore, we can say that R is symmetric, right? Then we will check whether it is transitive, right? For transitivity, we will check T1, T2, comma T2, T3 belongs to R, right? That means T1, T2 means T1 is congruent to T2. T2, T3 means T2 is congruent to T3. Then this implies that T1 is congruent to T2 and T2 is congruent to T3. Therefore, T1 is congruent to T3. Is one triangle is congruent to second, second is congruent to third, we can say that first and third are also congruent. So T1 is congruent to T3. This implies T1 comma T3 belongs to R. So T1 comma T2 belongs to R, T2 comma T3 belongs to R implies T1 comma T3 belongs to R, which shows that R is transitive. Now, since R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, therefore R is an equivalence relation. For every equivalence relation, we will check whether the relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. If all the three conditions are true, only then the relation is equivalence. If any one of the condition is not true, suppose the relation is not reflexive but it is a symmetric and transitive, the relation will not be equivalence. If it is not symmetric but reflexive and transitive, it will not be an equivalence relation. Same with the third condition. For equivalence relation, all the three conditions, reflexive, symmetric and transitive, should hold for a relation. Now let us take one more example. Parallel lines. Let L be the set of all lines in a plane and R be all lines, we are saying L1 be the set of all lines in the plane, and R be a relation defined as R is equals to ordered pair L1 comma L2. L1 is perpendicular to L2. Previously we have taken two triangles. The triangle 1 is congruent to triangle 2. Now we are taking lines. Line 1 is perpendicular to line 2. I have made a diagram also that this line L1 is perpendicular to L2. We have to show that R is a symmetric but neither reflexive nor transitive, right? This we have to show. First we will check the relation reflexive. R is not reflexive. Why? I am writing L1 comma L1, right? Now L1 comma L1 relation is L1 is perpendicular to L2. Can I say that L1 is perpendicular to L1? Can a line be perpendicular to itself? L1 comma
No,
L1,
ma'am.
a line cannot be perpendicular. If we will having a relation of parallel, then we can say a line can be parallel to itself, right? But a line cannot be perpendicular to itself. Therefore, relation is not reflexive. R is not reflexive as the line L1 cannot be perpendicular to itself. L1 comma L1 does not belong to R. Now we check symmetric. R is a symmetric. Why? L1 is perpendicular to L2. Can we say that L2 is perpendicular to L1? Yes, we can say that. If line 1 is perpendicular to line 2, this is obviously line 2 is perpendicular to line 1. So R is symmetric as L1 comma L2 belongs to R implies, wait, okay. So L1 is perpendicular to L2. This implies L2 is perpendicular to L1. This implies L2 comma L1 belongs to R. Now L1 comma L2 belongs to R implies L2 comma L1 belongs to R, which shows that the relation is symmetric. Now we check the transitivity. Transitive. R is not transitive. Why? We are taking a line L1 perpendicular to L2. Then draw a line L3 which is perpendicular to L2. You will find that the line L1 and L3 are parallel, not perpendicular. N1 is perpendicular to L2 and L2 is perpendicular to L3. Then L1, L3 will be parallel lines. R1, R is not transitive. If L1 is perpendicular to L2 and L2 is perpendicular to L3, then L1 can never be perpendicular to L3. In fact, L1 is parallel to L3. Mathematically, we will be writing L1 comma L2 belongs to R, L2 comma L3 belongs to R, but L1 comma L3 does not belong to R. This we had to show that R is a symmetric, but it is neither reflexive nor transitive. Thus, it will not be an equivalence relation, right? This way we will be showing whether the relation is equivalence or not. Okay. Till now, if any student have any doubt, you can ask me. Any doubt? Clear? Right? So we did types of relation, empty relation, universal relation. Empty relation, if the relation will be empty, there will be no element in the relation. Universal relation, if all the subsets will be present in the relation itself, then it will be universal relation. Identity relation, if only a comma a belongs to R, like if a is a 1 comma 2 comma 3 is a set, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3 belongs to the relation, that will be the identity relation. A relation R in a set A is identity if every element of A is related to itself. Then we did the important topic equivalence relation. Equivalence relation, we will check whether the relation is reflexive symmetric, transitive. If the relation is reflexive and symmetric and transitive, only we will say that then the relation is equivalence relation. The relation will be reflexive if a comma a belongs to relation for every a belongs to a. The relation will be symmetric if a comma b belongs to r. This implies b comma a belongs to r. If there is any set a comma b, then there should be a set b comma a. And transitive, if there is any set a comma b comma c, then there should be a set a comma c which belongs to relation r. Only then we will be saying that the relation is transitive. Then your exercise 1.1 of your book is containing all the questions related to reflexive, symmetric, transitive and equivalence. Question number 1, determine whether each of the following relations are reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Right, relation r is x comma y such that 3x minus y is equals to 0. You will check this relation, right? Same way you will be having next questions, all are related to reflexive, symmetric, transitive, reflexive, symmetric, reflexive, right? You will be having number of questions for practice, right? So this is all about your relations. Tomorrow we will start with functions and we have 4 minutes. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. And you will be practicing all the questions so that you will be having command over the chapter relations, right? Any doubt?